Hi, I know I haven't posted a video in a while. Reason behind that is I did not want to. Because of that, I'm combining July and August into just one big video. So that's what this is. And to compensate for not uploading in a bit, we're gonna do another segment episode of Gray Tries a Thing. Today I have Nabisco brand Minions The Rise of Gru cookies. I don't know exactly what they are. They are just called cookies. I think that's Bob on the cover. The package. I haven't been in front of a camera in like 2 months. As you can see, we have all of our minion designs. See if I know their names. That's Kevin, I think. That's Bob. Stewart. That's James. Bob 2. They look exactly the same. A good source of calcium. So that's something. I'm sure this sounds great in the microphone. Just interesting labeling here. Apparently we're tearing in the middle of the package. Let's do it. They're very dusty. They barely have any designs on them. First one I picked up is... I gotta do the fucking YouTuber thing. First one I picked up is Kevin. I doubt the different minions people? Do minions have civil rights? I doubt there's any different flavors between them. There's not even like a distinct flavor. They're cookie flavored, I guess. Why do they make the packaging like this? It's so like, if you're supposed to tear it down the middle, it's so hard for just everything to just fall out. I would do it for a bit, but I don't want to fucking vacuum my carpet. Here we go. That just tastes like a Teddy Graham. But it's just like a repurposed Teddy Graham. That is legit a fucking Teddy Graham. He lost his legs. Why am I still eating it? Exactly like a Teddy Graham. I don't know if Teddy Grahams are made by Nabisco. Probably wouldn't surprise me if they are. I'm pretty sure they're just differently designed Teddy Grahams. The thing about Teddy Grahams is that they're good for like a second. Like when you first bite into it and you get the flavor, then it's good. Then it just kind of turns into like vanilla chalk, and it's not good. I didn't do a rating for the last thing I tried. I think it was like the cupcake or whatever. I think I would probably give the cupcake like a 6 out of 10. Then these are like 3. I was gonna say 4, and then it just reminded me that these are just repurposed Teddy Grahams, and that pissed me off. So it's a 3. I mean, I have to eat these now. You can see my face, I don't want to fucking eat it. See, this is the perfect example of the dangers of capitalism.
Came out buzzing, 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 came out.
While this song is very good, I kind of wish Drake sung on this, especially on the last chorus after his verse. That would have been pretty sick. What else can I really say about these other than that they're very pretty? It's Sufjan. This shit is so hard. The shiny production mixed with such a passionate performance with a French accent just combined to make some fucking bangers. Bad Bad Not Good releases a beautiful and serene song, like as always. Hey, this isn't bad. Not very good, but it isn't bad. The song's pretty fun, but Slowthai just kind of steals the show with the delivery he does on here. Another pretty good song from Kevin, and Ryan just kills it as usual. Bit of a hot take here, but I'm kind of enjoying these singles more than some of Roadrunner, and I like that album. While not as good as Leave the Door Open, I mean, how could it? It's still a fucking great song. First and foremost, before I talk about this song, rest in peace Grogs, the song is packed full of emotion, lyrics and delivery-wise, and the production is so big and impactful. This album is definitely my most anticipated for the year. God, this is Post's weakest song for me since Stony. Post's delivery is cool, I guess, but the beat is just so boring. As always, Lean has beautiful and ethereal production, songs to just lose yourself into. Keem and Kendrick go fucking crazy together. I mean, who would have guessed? While Kendrick has a great verse with some iconic moments, I love that Keem's verse just gradually builds in energy even after the beat switch. I'm glad that Kenny Beats pays attention to what's happening in the underground scene so songs like this can exist. I love that this is a quote-unquote comeback single, I guess, because it's kind of a fuck you, and given the amount of hate that Lizzo and Cardi B have gotten in the past, the song feels pretty warranted. This shit has some insane production and fantastic rapping. Don't Be Kendall is definitely an underrated rapper. Both of these fucking songs destroy me every time I listen to them. James Blake is legit a fucking god. I don't know, I don't get it. Abel just kind of confirms that he has this sound to a formula, and it's amazing. Although, to be honest, the extended version is better. I know God peed on me. I know God peed on me. This album's fucking great. So many catchy and fun songs. Definitely check this out, please. It deserves the attention. As a stagnant Isaiah fan, I pretty much got what I expected out of this. It's good overall, has some great songs here and there, but some are just kind of boring. It's a good album, just not much for me to say about it. This album is so fucking weird, dude. The first half is the most chaotic and disjointed shit I've heard this year in the best way possible. I just kind of wish the more relaxed and melodic second half was as consistently great. This is probably the most fun I've had listening to a metal album this year. There's so many moments on here where I can't believe that they're on a metal album. If there's anything to get out of this album, it's the production. It just perfectly captures and elevates the atmosphere of all the songs on here. I like this album a good bit, but it's very weird to see people calling a Lorde album mid. While there are some good songs on here, this album really should not exist at all. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. It's kind of sad that people are going to think of this album as the thing we got instead of Donda that day, because it's pretty good in its own right, and Kanye's production through the whole thing is really interesting, especially for Kanye. But this does have a case of what I like to call Gorillaz rapping syndrome, where the rapping is good, but the flow is just kind of corny and awkward. I love that Willow fully invested into the pop rock sound, especially given the Avril Lavigne feature, and her voice just fits so well over it. This is the most beautiful album I've heard this year. Full stop. Every song has that gut-punching, stank-face, chest-tightening moment. It's such a calming album, too. I really love this. Given movie soundtracks are typically not that terribly consistent, this is okay. I am pretty disappointed in the Brockhampton and Big Freedia songs, though. The movie isn't that great, either. This project shows off this dude's potential more than anything, really. There's some good songs on here, but I know he can make some just better, crazy shit in the future. This album is so fun, with its gleaming production and angelic choruses. It's very good. While this isn't anywhere close to one of their best projects in my opinion, I do love how they tried some different styles on this one, some of them working really well. What I like the most about this album is its claustrophobic but also ethereal, in a sense, atmosphere. It's very interesting. IDK's music for me has always sounded interesting, and this album doesn't change that. I like how this is way more ambitious than Izzy Real, and this definitely has some of its most emotionally impactful and well thought out songs. It's good. I don't know. Alk has some great beats. Boldy's delivery is good. I don't really have much to say about this. I love the in-your-face styles on this so much. The production and vocals are insane most of the time. Also, this lyric from Antonoff is genuinely one of my favorite lyrics probably ever. Probably the best ambient album I've heard this year. It's hard to talk about ambient albums without just saying, oh, the textures are just fucking crazy, but this is a pretty good album. This is a really fun punk album that sometimes isn't punk at all. I really love the genre blending on some songs here. I don't really think it's a surprise that the best song on here is the one featuring Zillakami. However, that drill song was surprisingly fucking great. I'll tell you what, don't let incels find this album, man. Jesus Christ. I love the subject matter throughout this album. It really shows how Billie's matured mentally and musically since her last album. It's fucking great. So much so that the song where she's just talking is one of my favorites. While it's cool that Logic is having fun making music, given that this is the first project we get after his quote-unquote retirement, he really just should have stayed retired. It's fucking insane to me that this is a remix album. Every new version just completely transforms the original, somehow making them more experimental and batshit insane to comprehend. I think a lot of people went into this thinking this dude was going to be the next Kendrick or some super mind-blowing rapper, and while Ray definitely isn't either of those things, he does have potential for the future, and I am excited for whatever his full project is. I really love the hypnotic production on this. It just kind of locks you into this mood, and Ka's calm but very present delivery matches it really well. This album is so soothing and just very pretty, plus it has a lot of insane collaborations. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't get Sufjan for the Ghost of Cincinnati or something. As a pretty good Jaden fan, While I find this interesting that he would release a whole new version of this project, this edition doesn't really come close to the consistency of the original. This album's very pretty, very tranquil, but has large moments, if you understand what the fuck I'm saying. This is good, but I don't think its potential is fully realized. Listening to specific elements, I could think of ways to make them a bit better, and the second half kind of falters compared to the first. The bangers on this are so fucking good, I just wish the slower, more melodic songs were as good. If you followed my channel for a while, you know that I don't particularly like Black Bear all that much, and this EP didn't really do much to change that. My biggest takeaway from this album, and while I do like Ken as a vocalist, Starboy and Out of Town are just fantastic producers. They make the most childish but insane beats. Plus, Rock and Roll is one of my favorite trap songs this year. That song is fucking insane. I honestly like the slower ballad-like songs on this way more than the pop and upbeat songs. Those just don't really connect with me as much. Plus, the singing sometimes cannot be that great. Some really great and impactful ambient pop, I guess. To make some of y'all interested in this album more than just that, it kind of sounds like a mix of a Moon-Shaped Pool era Radiohead with the sadder type of songs Fleet Foxes make sometimes. While I love that Deafheaven really just said fuck it and went full shoegaze on this album, it gets pretty repetitive as it goes on until the last track. That one's great. God, the atmosphere on this is so thick and cloudy. The reverb vocals most of the time just add so much to that. It's a really pleasant album. I like it a lot. The biggest thing I got out of this album was the happiness that Halsey got to make the album she always wanted to. Musically, for me, it's fine. This album really sounds like only Pink Sifu could have made it. It's so unique. He's definitely one of the most interesting rappers out right now. I've seen people call this album repetitive, and I agree, but I don't care because it sounds so good to me. This is definitely Trippie's best project, and Supernatural is a fucking unreal song. Alright, as you can tell from the black screen, we're talking about Donda. This album's good. Better than I thought it was going to be, given I only listened to the first listening party. There's a lot of great songs, but also some that don't really go anywhere. Plus, I have some tracklist structuring issues. Sometimes it just kind of sounds like Kanye hit shuffle on his list of songs that he wanted to put on the album and decided to make that the track list. But overall, it's definitely better than Jesus is King. I'll tell you that for fucking sure. I just want to cut in here at the end of the video to say that I haven't guessed a David Lynch Today's Number Is correctly for a month, and I am unbelievably pissed off.